Greeting all excellency and a very warm welcome to all in today's insightful, incredible, and inspiring session. I'm your host for this evening, Madhvi Borse, and I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all presented here. Thank you all the attendees who has taken out their precious time to join us. And I would like to welcome our exceptional, dazzling, and fearless Dr. Mitsu Chawra on our talk show Arabica Coffee Blooms episode 3. Before I take the journey ahead, I would like to share the vision and mission of the super positive community, Positive Thoughts. Positive Thoughts Family is a ProCert UK ISO certified GST registered firm registered under Ministry of MSME, Government of India. It is a global community of super positive eminent speakers, trainers, coaches, educationists, consultants, social activists, and entrepreneurs from all across the India, almost 40 different countries, on a mission to learn, connect, share, and bridge the gap between brand organization and will work on the mission of empowerment for stress-free education and life. The Light Executive Community is for all the like-minded, positive people for all across the globe who want to share, inspire, and help each other to grow their success together by empowering one another. A platform like this will work as a one-stop solution for all the full of hope of bringing major transformation in the society. Let me break your curiosity and tell you that Mr. Gaurav Sharma is the brain behind the establishment of the impeccable platform. And I'm sure most of you already know him. Dr. Gaurav Sharma is a well-known and respected multi-award winning motivational speaker, life coach, and social activist, founder and CEO, Positive Thought Consulting and Training Solution co-founder, 28 credential of Entrepreneur Malaysia. He believes passion keeps a person motivated, and people who follow it will always find happiness and satisfaction in whatever they do. He believes that we each achieve our version of success by getting to know our inner selves and understanding what drives us. That success is finding a purpose and then designing a life that embraces it. He chooses to take on great risk by leaving his career and becoming a motivational speaker because after a year of searching and self-discovery, he had finally found his purpose. He came to realize that he wanted to lead a life filled by desire, serve to uplift and to empower people from all walks of life. A God-loving family person, Dr. Gaurav Sharma, is actively involved in various initiatives that supports contributing and giving back to society and finding the fulfilling feeling unparalleled. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box. I'll bring them up to during presentation if necessary, or we will also have time to for question at the end. We have shared you the link below. Please click and fill registration form. All the participants will be awarded with the participation certificate. I'm profusely overjoyed to take this opportunity to introduce our special guest of the day. She is none other than Miss Dr. Mitsu Chawla. She is a Facebook influencer, expert legal advisor, biker, traveler, motivational speaker, career counselor, a sports lawyer. She has numerous national and international honors and certifications. She is youngest female solo pan-Indian biker, only Gujarati to summit Siachen Glacier, only person to be allowed to ride bike inside President estate premises, loaded by Honorable President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovind, Honorable Rajnath Singh, Home Minister of India, Srimati Nirmala Sitaraman, Finance Minister of India, Honorable Purushottam Rupala, Minister of State, Gujarat. You are really, really amazing, ma'am. We all are genuinely curious to know about your journey. Over to you, ma'am.
My journey, there are two journeys I have. One is in the life, one is in my bike journey. So like I'll start with my life journey. I was never a very bright student. When I was in this school, I somehow managed to pass when I used to give my exams. And that was like because teachers thought I should pass and I should get some grace marks. So that is me. Like I managed to pass somehow, and that is how I cleared my 10th, cleared my 12th, though I failed in 12th once, but then I had opted for PCMB when I studied.
Please mute your phone other than speaker, please.
Mitsu ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. So I have never been, bright student and all, but I always wanted to do something or the other for the society. And since my childhood, my house was next to the juvenile home. So we had made a point, my mom had made a point that all the, festivals and special days were to be celebrated with juvenile child. And, we used to go there, distribute food, play with them like Holi and Diwali and all. And that is how somehow I was always there in this social working thing because of my mom, my dad. And, my dad was more inclined religious side. So, going to the temples and feeding the poor, that was all he used to do. And because, I was their child, so they were always like, Tumhare haath se do. You should feed them, you should feed them. So somehow that all was there in me. But I was very well read, though I couldn't read any of my study material. Apart from that, I read everything and anything that came across like my sight. And so somehow I had some friends who had joined army and all, my brother's friends who had joined army and all. And I was very curious about army, navy, air force. And when like in Gujarat, we still don't have that much awareness about forces. It is known, it is like a very well known thing that from Gujarat there are very less people who go to forces and all. And so it got me very curious that what it is, how it is. And then after, at a point of time, I got an appropriate knowledge and all. Then I spoke to the NCC officers at my place, and they supported me in doing all this career counseling, how to join defense forces. And then I also started telling people about different wars and battles that India had fought, and they won or they lost. It doesn't matter, but we should know that who are our warriors. And then I started this thing that choose your idols, because I always saw that there were idols like who I always thought that they are just some other idols like celebrities, Bollywood stars. But these people who has made supreme sacrifice for the motherland, people did not know them much. So I started this concept of, choose your idols. I went to the schools and colleges. I took seminars on them. And that is how my connection with the army started. When army came to know about all these things, they supported me really well. Then there were also officers I started collaborating who used to come and take such seminars along with me. And that is my journeys, though because I am in Gujarat, I have faced lot of backlash that why should we tell our kids to join army. And there are so many myths that are not yet busted, that people still think that when you join army you are just going to get martyred, or in their words if I put, they are going to get killed on border and all. And it is about leaving your home and living on border and all. So that is how I started my journey. I had some backlash, but then when I see now 10 years from when I started this, I'm quite happy with where I've reached. I've got so many kids of mine, like almost some of are my age, some are younger to me, but now they're army officers. And that is it. And then the other part of my journey was my bike ride, and for the paraplegic soldiers. And then one thing that me and Gaurav, uh, what do I say, connected on is this gratitude. So I named my project back in 2014 Gratitude Forever. And that is based on showing gratitude to each and every person, and especially the people in uniform forces. And Gaurav started this thing for everyone. There should be this gratitude in each and every person. And when I came to know about this initiative, I instantly connected with Gaurav, that okay, fine, like we were doing something same, but we were apart, and now again we have connected, so we can do something good, and we can bring some good change in the society with the same thought process.
Your positivity is infectious, ma'am, because there's a say, travel isn't always pretty. It isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it hurts. It even breaks your heart. But that's okay. The journey changes you. It should change you. It leaves mark on your memory, on your consciousness, on your heart, and on your body. You take something with you. Hopefully, you leave something good behind. Well, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And you have given a bit of the idea about your career, but still we want to know a bit detail. We would also like to know, ma'am, that what has your career path been?
Okay, so when I was young, I wanted to be an actress. Then I grew up a bit. I wanted to be an air hostess. Then I grew up a bit and I wanted to be a merchant navy officer. Then I grew up a bit and I wanted to be an army officer. Then I grew up a bit and I wanted to do nothing. And I just wanted to become a billionaire. And then finally, I came back to my senses, and I did my degrees in my BA English literature, and then I am pursuing law because my parents, both of them, have pursued law. My dad is government officer, but my mom is a Supreme Court lawyer, so here I am. And then I'm an avid gamer. Like I love gaming. Like if you will call me in the evening after 9, I put my phone on D&D. It's on gaming mode, and I am a very vigorous gamer, and I have been a gamer on a global level. So then I thought that law and esports, especially esports, not recognized in India, and we have tournaments that are worth 48 millions and 100 billions coming up across the world, and we don't have lawyer for that. So then, because I'm pursuing and practicing law, I thought I would become a lawyer in esports. And apart from that, I am a social activist who is into social thing, like lots of social thing. Recently, if I say I'm a corona warrior, because I have been working or volunteering in COVID isolation center. Before that, I was a biker who was on the cause for paraplegic soldier. Before that, I was working for those juvenile kids. Before there, I was working for the like child laborers and beggars. So yeah, like I see, like there is a lot of after this, and before this, I have had lots of career change. But again, at the end, I have whatever I have done, I have brought a positive change in every system that I wanted to work with and work in. And as of now, yes, I'm an esports lawyer, legal advisor, India's first esports legal advisor, who knows what is gaming also, and who knows what law is all about. And my paraplegic soldier campaign is still going on. I still get sponsorships for them, because they are the ones who actually need some recognition, who are representing our country in Paralympics and other national level teams, though they are disabled. And apart from that, I don't know what I'll do next. Like we need to have a session like this in another year or two to know what else I have done.
Great, ma'am. Great. You have really proven it that opportunities just don't happen. We need to create them. So, ma'am, could you please share with us your biggest achievement?
Okay. So my biggest achievement is meeting President of India, going to United Nations as a speaker, going to Columbia University as a guest. But that is all because I did my bike ride. And I'll tell you a story of my bike ride is that I wanted to do something for paraplegic soldiers. And I have a friend who is a biker who said, let's do a bike ride across India, and you can take the seminars wherever we reach, and I will do all the riding. You can just be a pillion. I was like, okay, can do, not a big problem. And I was supposed to leave on 26th of November. On 24th of November, he had to drop his plan. And I had never ever like rode a bike on highway. It was something, so everyone thought I would give up and I would cancel my bike ride plans. But I was very adamant to do it. I don't know, like you call it adamant or what, but I would call myself adamant. And I was like, I want to do it. So I spoke to my dad. I went on OLX. I bought a second-hand bike that was, 100 kilometers just used. And my dad supported me. My dad said, it's a bike, it's a machine. Machine does not know you are a male or a female. If you think you can, go for it. And from Surat to Mumbai, it takes 5 hours journey, and my journey took 10 hours. And my thighs were sore, my back was paining, I was in total pain in just 250 256 kilometers. So people thought I would give up. Next day I got up and I had to cross Pune. And before Pune, there are Lonavala hills, and like they are hills, so we have slopes. So we have to go this way, and I was going this way, and it was really horrifying. Then while I was on my bike ride, there was effect of cyclone Uchki. So they were months of November and December. So I never thought there would be rains. So I was not very well prepared for facing those rains and all. And my all clothes were wet and all. And amidst all those things, I completed my bike ride, like my first bike ride, and it was 17,000 kilometers, and that too in 65 days. And I was noticed by someone from Karnataka, and he told the governor of Karnataka that some girl is doing something of this sort. And then they found me out from Facebook and different places, and then they invited me at their place. And same thing happened with Home Minister of India, Defense Minister of India, and even President of India. I did not have to approach them. Yeah, but they did tell me, like when they called me up, they did tell me to put up an official email. So I had to put them, but it was their approach that they wanted to honor me. And then President speaking about me, my commitment, my passion in front of 100 Women Achievers Award, who are actually some real achievers. That was the greatest achievement for me. And then I was invited at United Nations as a speaker, guest speaker in World Emerging Leader Summit. And that was also a very like great achievement. All I knew about UN was that only big people and great people could go. I never thought I would land on that stage, but I did, and that was my biggest achievement.
So pleased to see you accomplishing great things, ma'am. Desire is that starting point of all achievements, not a hope, not a wish, but a keen pursuit. Desire which transcends everything. So, ma'am, what are the greatest challenges you have came across so far? How did you arrive at finding the method of overcome to those challenges?
Challenges, I don't know, like what do you people call challenge? For me, nothing was a challenge. For me, they were all hurdles, and it was just I had to jump over those hurdles, and that is what I did. So basically, there were no challenges. Yeah, there are speed breakers, but speed breakers are just to break your speed or speed you down. It's never to stop you from achieving what you do. So I believe that if our will is strong, we have a willpower, we will do everything and anything. And I think that is the case with me. So like I don't have much to speak on this topic because I am yet to face a challenge that makes me put my weapons down.
So strong willpower you have, ma'am. It's really amazing. So with this, I believe we all should go ahead to take some time for questions from audience. If we have questions from audience.
Oh, well, Dr. Mitsu, you have given a fantastic, mind-blowing interview, which I ever heard. I want to ask one question. Being a girl and a society like India, where girls are being dominated by the male, so how you have overcome such comments, such, harassing situation where a girl wants to ride a bike. So how you overcome those comments from the people?
What matters to me are my parents. Apart from that, they are like, okay, you want to comment, you can do it behind my back, I don't give a damn. So, and my parents never stopped me. My father was very supportive. Yeah, my mom always being protective, they have this protective instinct. So yeah, she had her, reservations and all. But again, she was very supportive. So if my parents are supportive, I don't think I have to mind others. And if at all I have to put myself in a situation where I think that society I have to think of, and I am like, fine, raise up to my standards and then we'll talk.
Sounds
Wow,
interesting.
that excellent. That's called the, girlish feeling. Very good. Fantastic answer.
Cool. And ma'am, you have even asked a great question, which is really required to know everyone over here. So that's just amazing. And ma'am, you
No,
have
but
really
I'd like to add something for, young girls. My parents never doubted me, or my parents supported me because I had a very great communication with them. If my parents said no for the bike ride, they might have said, that is the question that I always get. But then I have, put my 100% to convince them, to make them realize why this is the right choice. I never, though I was adamant, I wasn't like that I would go against my parents, I would run away or do something. I would, fight with them. I would cry over things, but I will convince them and I would take them, along with me. When I was on my bike ride, or when I have gone out of India, anywhere, I've always kept in touch with my parents. And such communication and such healthy relationship with parents or anyone comes handy. And about the society, if I can connect, maybe my parents might have faced backlash because of the actions that I've taken, but my parents have never let that come to me because they knew what I am and what I'm doing.
That's what is important, ma'am. That's what is important. Even every person literally believe that if their parents are with them, so the whole world is with us. So the parents should be there. Like, of course, they are the one, and of course, we need to somewhere, somehow, we need to convince them. Because there was a time that once upon a time they used to convince us on very politely, very nicely, and today is the time that we can also do the same thing, and you have really done in the awesome scenario. And now we have many people to ask the question, but amazing personalities. So first, I would like to celebrate, ma'am. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah. Hello, Dr. Missu. It was such a great pleasure, listening to your interview. It was not appearing as if a girl was talking to us. It was an iron lady, a superwoman who was rather, talking to us. But I have a very simple question for you. Can you please give me some light bulb moments of your early life? And also, what was that one factor which attracted you towards that, Harley, this bike stuff, which is usually been attracted, or which has been usually the face of boys? Because during my childhood, and even now also, whenever we see, the bike gang come, we always find only boys over there, and we poor girls, we just admire them, like we just sit and admire them, glued to them. But this is quite a big factor, a girl is doing that stuff. So what were those light bulb moments in your early life which attracted towards this particular stuff? That is what I want.
So as I said, I was never into biking. I was destined to be a biker, but I was never into bikes, never into biking. As I said already, that I was supposed to do something for paraplegic soldiers, and a biker friend of mine, who himself is a guy, said, I will ride a bike, you be a pillion, and then you can take the seminars, which was my forte. Like, yeah, I can speak, so I will take the seminars. But because he had to drop out, and I didn't want it to cancel my whole bike riding plan, I thought of taking up this journey on my own, and that is how I got into bikes. As of now, also, I don't know how to, what parts of bikes are what, how to, make a puncture or something. Or even if my vehicle has any problem, I'm like, Papa, please come. This is me. So like, I wasn't attracted to particular thing, but I was destined, is what I can say.
Okay, so there was never any fear factor. That means from the very beginning, you were adventurous enough to go for such sporty stuff.
There was always a fear factor, but then again, the aim I was going for, the goals that I had, that I wanted to do something for paraplegic soldiers, I wanted to spread awareness about them. That never made me, feel inferior about those fear. Like, okay, yeah, but I'm an overthinker. I still have thoughts that I'll fall and a truck will go over me. These are the thoughts that I have. But when I was on the ride, I never had such thoughts because I was very goal oriented.
So this is a very good humanitarian side also we have come to see through you. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Positive Thoughts, for introducing, for welcoming Dr. Mitsu. A very wonderful, inspiring section indeed. Thank you so much.
And thanks a lot, ma'am, for your question as well. It was really an important question and it's really crucial that to know. And Mitsu ma'am, you have really, proven that once a female enter into something, she will be the winner of that.
I
So
agree.
really amazing. And now we have a Harish Vas sir. I would really love to come up with a question because you are literally appreciating us
Uh,
so much. Thank you so much. Thanks, million.
no, madam, I have two things to share. One is, Dr. Chavda, you are not adamant, you are confident. Maybe that you are not able to find that word, but you know that you are confident and not adamant. One is that. And what I like, the other thing very too much is that now you say that I never face challenge. Actually, actually, if you look at it, if we look at it, challenges are what? Challenges are speed breakers. Challenges now can stop or not stop us, can slow down our speed. Slowing down speed is always good. It's always good so that you can again pick up. So that's what 2 points I wanted to say. Thanks, Mr. Gaurav. And Dr. Madhvi, you are doing very nice.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Gratitude, much gratitude. And I believe that all because of your blessings and wishes, we all are doing amazing. Thanks a lot. And now we have another question from your GYP. Please, ma'am, please come up with your question.
Sorry for there's some problem issue with my camera, so I can't be on this. It was very inspiring, Dr. Mitsu. You just mentioned that there was never a need to make your parents understand that you wanted to do that. So my question, because I have a teenage child, right? So that was very touching, you see, when I heard that statement from you. So what do you think as a parents we can do to have such kind of understanding from our children like that you had? You said that even if they would have said no to you, you would have tried to convince. And I have always wanted that the kids should be like this. So what do you think, what exactly your parents did to have such an understanding? Any tip on that?
See, I am not a parent, so like that's very hard for me to say that what they have done from my childhood. But all I know is that my mom has been my greatest friend. Like even today, if me and my mom go out and we see a good guy, so my mom is like, he looks hot. Should I go and talk with him for you? And I'm like, no. And like my mom is like, hence you are single. So I have such a great bond with my mom, and even for my dad, if I like when we go out, if I see a good guy, I can tell them, and that is because they have been so free to me always. My mom is literally that Jeevan Sati ad ka dad, any good friend she sees and she will be like putting that sehra on him that, you can marry him, you can marry him, you can marry him. So that is the kind of bond my mom made with me since my childhood. And if I talk about my childhood, I have had lots of no's. I never went on picnic. I had lots of complaints from my parents, like my school days, I come from a particular community, and my school never liked that particular community. I wouldn't name that. And I had lots of complaints, and my mom used to scold me over there in the school. And then I used to come and cry at home, and I used to tell, why are you scolding me? I didn't do anything. It is their fault. And my mom is like, you are my child. They are nothing to me. I am supposed to tell you only. I can't tell them anything. And this is one of the best school in the city. I want you to study there and make better of you. And those all things at that point of time, I never understood her. I never, like I always used to think she is not on my side. But as I grew up, once I started, meeting people in real life, that is what I started understanding. And it is not just having this great communication or understanding. The onus is just not on parents, it's also on kids. When I told my mom about our culture was like, we were first to receive a smartphone, we were first to have Facebook, we were first to have WhatsApp. And when we always used to be on phone, people used to complain about that. But my parents never did that. Like I told my parents, come on Facebook, they came on Facebook. I told my parents, Instagram, they are there. And like people do block their family members because of their family members commenting on them about their social media and all. My mom never did that. Yeah, she was, whenever there was any objectionable post, she used to ask, why did I put up that post? And then she used to tell me her opinion, but she never forced me to do something or the other. And that is what I think, the communication, which was not a fight, that was not a force, course. That was just more talks and discussions, no debates at all. That is what made like my communication with my parents strong. And another thing what I feel is the dinner talks. We have a strict rule at my place that when we are having dinner, like dinner is a time when we all three, we are just three in the family, me, mom and dad, and even my pet. Yeah, so we all four need to have dinner together at the same time, and we need to talk about what we did whole day, what happened with us, all the good things, all the bad things. And somehow I feel I have someone who listens to me, and that is why I was more confident about it, that they will understand my point.
So the means the key of a good relationship between parents and children is good understanding and brave and intelligent children like you, Dr. Mitsu, right? It's not, means only parents can't do it. So
Yes,
nice
it's
to
always
hear
a
you.
two-way process.
Yeah, so nice to hear all this from you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Mati.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Cool. So, like, if we have any other question, please come up with that, because we have such an inspiration personality. And ma'am, I should tell you that, of course, you are completely. I do agree with this. That once, like, our parents are really encouraging, and all because of that, today somewhere somehow we are here. Even I, with me, it has happened. In my entire till now, they haven't even used any Facebook, Insta, and all. But today they are using it. So and all of the relatives too. So it is just an amazing thing that we are getting it, and this is the most important thing somewhere somehow, that we need their blessing, support, and love, because personally we are the same. We are also a human being, and of course we have to be such like, we have to be strong personality. But you are just an amazing, if we could say, very, like, minimum percentage, if you could take that, who are really doing in which all, like, only males can do this, but you have proven that it's a normal thing, anyone can do it. It's not about males or females. So that's really incredible.
So being the only child, it was never male or female for me. That was the basic thing, with me. I was always a boy, to my family. Like, boys we say that, if you have to go to a grocery shop, then it's boys' job to do. I have done that, dude. I have been to the market. My mom, she's a working person, so my mom cannot go to the vegetable market. My dad does it, and I always tag along. So for me, male female thing never existed.
Absolutely. Even I would like love to, share this thing with our audience and everybody whosoever will see this. That of course we should not even differentiate in the manner. It's not about just love. It's about the capacity. Like as you said, that when it comes to bring anything from the grocery or something, so we should ask our daughter to do the same. Go and take the bicycle. Go and take the scooty. Go and take the bike, and just get it done. So it's not only the like, today we are in 21st century, so it is not only the responsibility of a son. And again, similarly with the a daughter and son goes, like, if we talk about householding works, so both should be there. So it's really normal, and it is proven by you, and it is just an amazing. Now it's my privilege to invite, for the purpose of vote of thanks, and to virtually felicitate our guest of the day, to our respected High Excellency, Dr. Gaurav Sharma. Please, sir.
आप सबको मेरा हाथ जोड़ के नमस्कार and a very beautiful evening to all. What an incredible session it is. I can truly say girl power at its best. Dr. Mitsu, my friend, and Dr. Madhvi, you both just nailed it. Mitsu, your journey is such an inspirational journey, right? We both share a very good friendship, and I truly respect you as a person. I truly respect your journey. I truly respect your achievement and the things, the journey which you have shared today with all of us. It's amazing, super awesome. Thank you so much once again for sharing your valuable time today with us at Arabica Coffee Bloom episode 3 on the platform of Positive Thought, which is working for global empowerment, for stress-free education and stress-free life. And kindly accept my token of appreciation आपको मैं हाथ जोड़ के अपने फ्रेंड को एक टोकन ऑफ एप्रिसिएशन देता हूँ. Kindly accept this, and we will definitely have you very soon again as a speaker on some super awesome topic very soon. Please accept it.
Thank you so much. Pleasure was all mine, Madhvi, Dr. Gaurav Sharma, and Ina ma'am, everyone, like, and everyone who asked me questions. I love when people throw questions at me and try to catch me off guard, because that is what my strength is.
Definitely. And Dr. Madhvi Borse, what to say? This is one of the best sessions I have ever attended. And as a host, as a moderator, as an anchor, you did a fantastic job, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it from the bottom core of my heart and soul. You guys are my family. You all are my extended family. You mean everything to me. You are world to me. And I, all alone, I cannot do this thing. I cannot make this dream come true. You all are my support system, my pillars of positive thoughts. I really appreciate your work, and please accept my token of appreciation from Positive Thoughts. Looking forward for your everlasting support from each and every eminent member of Positive Thoughts of my family. Thank you so much, Dr. Madhvi Borse. Last but not the least, all the participants, all the members who have joined us today in the Zoom session, whoever is listening to us on Facebook Live, they are going to see this recording again and again. This is such an inspirational session we have had on this platform of Positive Thought. And every Wednesday, we will be having such inspirational story, that for sure. And every Saturday and Sunday, we will be having training sessions, that for sure. Every month, we will be having one international conference, that is for sure. And one panel discussion every month on hottest topic in the world. That will be international, right? Looking forward to it. And thanks, last but not the least, Ina ma'am. She is doing a superb job. Care of technical part, technical department in every session of Positive Thought. I truly admire her. She is just like my buddy. She is my support system, right? And now I'm going to hand over the stage again to Dr. Madhvi Borse. Please take ahead, and all the best. I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And we all too love you so much and respect you a lot. Feeling extremely gratified. I truly appreciate the remarkable opportunity and appreciation, Dr. Gaurav Sharma. And I would like to express my profound gratitude to our team and attendees for all the warmest wishes. Without you, it's next to impossible. Last but not the least, and even I'm not feeling like to complete the session. The session is really going amazing with a strong lady. Really appreciate, ma'am, if you share some of the key takeaways for us. Dr. Mitsu, ma'am, please unmute you. Yeah, please.
Key takeaways.
Yeah.
It's like, have a good communication, always be positive, and just believe in yourself. That are the three things that I always tell people, and that are the only takeaways that I have, because that is what has made me today.
Amazing, ma'am, amazing. So, I believe from positive thoughts, we have literally learned a lot today. Even it's such in like we have a complete inspiring personality, and sir, what to say? Like how means we could say you are just how you are finding all the platinums and diamonds all over the world. That's just an amazing. We are literally loving. Somewhere somehow now we are a team. We are not even feeling a lot proud on us because all are so same, high excellency doctorate, and between all of them, when people ask me, so I just simply say that, like, how you feel when you get all these awards and appointments and this, and I just say that I'm just living my entire life like completely now with excellencies. So somewhere, somehow, I just don't feel different. Means this is just an amazing platform, and I believe Dr. Mitsu Chavda and our team, all the females, if we could say, till now, there was a time we used to feel like that female has that some chores, household chores, and this and that, and so much different feminism, and we could say domination and all things which were going on. But today, but to meet all of you, I literally feel that there's nothing like this. We are living in 21st century. We have all those people over here, like we could say, we have all those females that shows that okay, there's nothing like all about males and females, and the way all our males people who are our like excellency, who are participating with us and sharing and encouraging us. So that is something. This is such a different platform. So positivity, so inspiring, really motivating and encouraging. I couldn't even feel myself different. Now we can feel ourselves human. We are human. And there is nothing like differentiation. There's nothing like discrimination. There's all which could say equality, strength, and which I feel, which I literally feel. So you have ever earned every bit of this now. How wonderful you are. You astonished us by your work. You are a true inspiration for all of us. You are virtuoso. Dr. Mitsu Chavda, enthusiastic and courageous personality. She inspired us that always believe in yourself and always stretch yourself beyond your limits. Your life is worth a lot more than you think because you are capable of accomplishing more than you know. You have more potential than you think, but you will never know your full potential unless you keep challenging yourself and pushing beyond your own self-imposed limits. So I have literally enjoyed it, and I believe that we have enough time still. If you have some of the questions, we can even take it right now. I can see Supriya ma'am, Brian sir, Radin ma'am, Nada ma'am, please, if you want to speak
So
some.
till that time, I will share one of my experiences with the esports community. Some days back, I was talking with esports people from across the world, and they asked me the same thing, like, you are a biker, you're from India, how did you do it? We don't see India the same way. Like, I'm like, see, I'll tell you the reason of why women are not into gaming industry, because it's not just about India. If we talk about people from across the world, when we are kids, when we are girls, small girls, we get gifts like Barbies or makeup set or tea set or a dinner set, but those stereotypes are not yet broken. It's like we still see the baby showers, so we have blue or pink color which are attributed to our genders, and those stereotypes are still not broken. So if from my childhood, if a guy is getting an Xbox or a video game or a PlayStation and I'm getting a makeup set, so what do you think I would learn? And they too agreed with the same thing. So this is what I was just reminded of that when you said that we are born, females are born to fill some roles. So let's just change the roles, I feel.
Correct, literally, very true, ma'am. And this is like such an encouraging for us, like, and still somewhere somehow, we are like so. I am so feared of, like, I can't go with the bike ridings and all, but after looking at you, after seeing you the way you are doing, so I believe that most of us, even not me, even most of us will try something new, because this is just an adventurous. We have very small life, live like a butterfly, enjoy it, and like the way, like as you have told your story, that first you have done this, then you have I wanted to become that and that. So that was just an amazing thing that you have tried, and some of them you have really achieved. So that's really amazing. Do we have any other questions? Supriya ma'am, would you like to say something? Still, like I could see the gesture if you want to.
I will say only one thing, that it is the most, amazing session by Dr. Madhvi Borse. You really rocked it. And Dr. Mitsu Chawda, when I heard you, even once upon a time, I also wanted to ride bike, but it was not possible now. With 2 kids, they will also want to do ride a bike with me. But you again influenced and infused me those confidence again, and I will try once again now. So thank you so much. You inspired me a lot, Dr. Madhvi Borse and Dr. Mitsu Chawda. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Million, ma'am. Thanks, Million. And really, really, it is such an inspiration for us that we should do something new and adventurous. That's really amazing. Cool. I believe that all of us like start at least with some of still, ma'am. Like you have really taken a bike and you have really shown the way. Means it's not only the biking. Means you have really shown in different fields, and you are really managing. You are doing a lot of stuff. I am still amazed that how you manage all these things together.
How do I manage? I don't have to manage. I know what to do when. That's it. And I'll tell you, like, when Supriya ma'am said, I'll tell you, my nanny, she uses Facebook and Instagram better than me. If I don't know anything, I will call up my grandmom and ask her. So age is never an issue. You can do it if you want, like right now.
That's really great. That's really great. And the place we are in, even in Asian countries, if we talk about, still there are number of females that who doesn't even know how to ride a scooty. They are really not with the permission of it. But I should say that start anyhow. Like it doesn't matter who is looking at you and who is not there. We have a great inspiration, and life should be adventurous. Life should be awesome. And the way Mitsu Chawda ma'am is leaving, and we all are somewhere, somehow, we are doing the different adventure. And that's the like, I believe that we like ma'am is doing so many things. And even if you talk about Dr. Gaurav Sharma, he's again like doing number of activities. So somewhere, somehow, which is my tagline, and I always give it to everyone, that the busiest life is the happiest life ever. So be busy with the productivities and those things which is required, which makes you happy. Do not do simultaneously the same things, like calling every day, talking the same thing. Have you eaten? Have you done this and all? No, come on. Like I believe even with the parents, like Dr. Mr. Chawda has shared that how her father, her mother, they both are really, means if you could say, when we are talking about her, the first respect and love should be for them, because they are the one who has really grown up her like this. And I believe that all of the parents should do in the same manner, somewhere, somehow. Today, if we talk about every one of us, Ina ma'am, Supriya ma'am, me, or anybody, even if we we have here all the eminent personality. Today we are all somewhere, somehow, because of the encouragement of our parents at birth. So that's really amazing. And I do believe that we all should do now some of the different adventurous activities with the pinnacle. So let's see how it goes. And I'll surely try, ma'am. Like somewhere, somehow, like I'm encouraged to do something. I even don't know how to drive the car and the bikes at all, but still, I'll try my best. I'll try my best. And after looking your session, I do believe my brother, my father, and everyone is going, even in future, the life partner, everyone is going to say that, okay, I am there for you. And if they are not, I'm going to show your session to them. That of course, that see how Mitsu Chawda, Dr. Mitsu Chawda, who has got the complete encouragement and inspiration. I want the same, and every female should show the same session and get inspired of that. Now, like we have last 5 minutes still, within some second, if anybody wants to ask the question, please go ahead. Somewhere, somehow, what I believe, I have asked almost, and my attendees and team has already asked most of the questions, and ma'am has given complete detailed, reply of that, so we can understand each and every point. And as Dr. Sharma said that, of course, we are going to see this session again and again, and we would really love it. So now we have with us Karamdeep ma'am. Please, Karamdeep ma'am, please.
Hello, everyone. It's like my first time in my life. I'm attending this event, and really thanks to Madhvi ma'am. Seriously, it's really amazing. And to Dr. Mitsu ma'am and to Dr. Madhvi, I have words for you both. Right, you really proved Newton's third law. Newton's third law just say, to every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Like in the ancient time, people were killing girls. They always trying to express their thoughts and always make them away from reality and freedom. But now you nailed it, really. You take the name of the girl community to the peak. Really amazing, ma'am. Really amazing, incredible. I can't say. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being this session and for being be here. I am really feeling proud, glad, and having great personalities. And this session, this is really amazing. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, and gratitude to you as well that you have joined us, and that's an amazing thing. As it is, Karamdeep, like she has said, that first time she has joined, so she has even told me that, ma'am, should I? So I said, of course, come on, you can. You are amazing. So thank you so much for your appreciation. Now it's the time to somehow we have to leave. We have to go. And Dr. Mitsu, we really love you, appreciate you, respect your journey, and we are really feeling extremely gratified that today we have joined you. And we believe that, again, as you said, the next year, again, we will come to next year with you. And we will love to know what more you have achieved, and especially how you have achieved. Because the question is not what have you achieved. The question is always with all of you that how you have achieved. And that's what matters. That's what matters a lot. So I could say, we will meet again on Thunderbolts, episode number 2, Saturday, 5th of June, 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Our trainer, High Excellency, Dr. Amy Rajlakshmi Allen from United Kingdom, and the topic will be self-confidence and living your dream life. I'm so excited about the session. Thank you so much, everyone, to joining us today. This is one of the memorable session for me, which I'm not going to even forget, and I really experienced so awesome. And I believe that I want to share in the mid of this that I myself a part-time corporate anchor, but on this COVID-19, I really somehow I have felt that I lost it. Now I'm no more anchor, but all because of you people. Today I'm here. Gratitude, Dr. Gaurav Sharma. Gratitude, Dr. Mitsu Chavda. Thank you, my team. You all are amazing. Thank you so much.
Dr. Madhvi, I just need to say one thing too. I want all of my participants and audience and everyone wants to listen this. I truly respect you because I know very well that you are not well. You are not well, and you did an amazing job. And right after this session, you are going to hospital. You're not well, and I truly appreciate it. You deserve my respect. You deserve my salute, and you deserve each and everyone's salute because you are not well. Still, you did a wonderful, fantastic job, and I really appreciate it from the bottom core of my heart and soul. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Madhvi. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Thank you.